handmade watercolor journal, watercolor pencils, and a water brush. Now that sounds like a great watercolor sketch kit to me, but it sounds like an even better giveaway. Ooh. Welcome back to the Mind of Watercolor, everybody. You know, Reese and I are so excited to be doing a giveaway today. You guys have just made my year, just past 1,600 subscribers, and in 6 months, I just can't believe the way you guys have responded. It's been so much fun. Thank you, thank you. I wish I could give a set like this away to everybody, but I think we're gonna have fun looking at them today and talking about them. So first of all, we have the Handmade Watercolor Journal. I've had so many questions from you guys about this. It's got the neat handmade decollage pages in there. You've seen me use it in my plein air video. I'm only just getting started using this, so we'll talk a little bit about what the paper's like and how it is. It's made for Hobby Lobby. It's handmade in India. I've tried to find links for you guys so that you could go online and find it, but I've not been able to find that. The next thing are the Prismacolor watercolor pencils. So in this set, you're going to get this 12 color set, brand new, unopened. Water brush. This will be in the kit. This is a Sakura Koi water brush. Very good. I've been trying different ones, and this is one of my favorite. This is the big size. Now this one's mine. You'll get a brand new one that's unopened. We'll talk a little bit about that and how these work. So let's get into it, and stay tuned to the end, and I'll tell you how to enter so you can be signed up for this giveaway. Alright, so I'm just doing a little rock and tree study here in this journal. Same journal that I'll be giving away. You know, watercolor pencil to me is first and foremost a drawing medium. You can think of it as paint, but I don't find that very useful. You know, that's my personal preference. Perhaps that will help you out if you're just getting started in watercolor pencil. I think of it as a drawing medium, and I haven't been using watercolor pencil all that long, but I do know watercolor pretty well, and I do know drawing pretty well. But watercolor pencil can be a little bit confusing. Well, how do I approach it? It's a pencil, but it's also a paint. Well, I have found it most useful just to approach it as a drawing. I think of it as a drawing, and then as the opportunities present themselves, I start adding shading by going back and forth between activating the pencil, doing some washes, and adding more pencil. So I'm just starting off here with some dark umber. We're going to keep this kind of a loose and quick study. I just want to be able to pass along some watercolor pencil tips to you guys. And now I'm going to take the water brush and start activating this. Activation is just simply wetting the watercolor pencil, and the first thing you'll notice when you do that is the colors all of a sudden get much more vibrant. And you can start spreading them around. If you're not used to it, it can be kind of surprising actually that how vibrant they are. I like thinking of watercolor pencil as a drawing medium because I like the linear quality that I can achieve, like with watercolor pencil. And I think of the washes that I go back and add as sort of secondary, just sort of to establish tone. And you can do it loosely, you can do it in a gradual layered fashion. Just a ton of ways you can do it. Now, one word about activation. Once you activate colored pencil, once it dries, the activation will never be the same. It's still watercolor and you can still move it around, never as much as when you first activate it. And sometimes when you're just starting out establishing values, you can pick up the pigment just from a line sometimes and just say, okay, I'm going to go back and make that darker, but right here I'm going to add some tone. Just like with a drawing medium and a watercolor medium, you need sort of negative paint where your highlights are going to be, or mask them off. Another challenge that you'll find using watercolor pencil is mixing. You can make paper palettes. That's just simply scribbling down watercolor pencil and lifting the paint from that. It allows you to apply a subtle wash in places. So if you go to mix color, you could do that there, but you don't get heavy applications that way. That may be okay for just applying little dabs of paint here and there. What I think works better is layering. As I mentioned, the watercolor pencils are very vibrant, so you might be able to see where I put a little green, and it's pretty bright. What I'm doing is I'm drawing this whole scene, and I'm going to add some values and get kind of a monotone or monochromatic value of it. And then I can go back and layer with these colors, which tend to be bright, and I can just put little bits of it. And just a ton of different ways you can approach color mixing with colored pencil. Another one is you can add the full strength color, such as this green, and you can go over it with and mix in, before you activate it, mix in some of its complement. In the case of green, that would be red. You're a little bit limited in the mixing, and it's not quite as intuitive as mixing watercolors on your palette. Now, another good feature of watercolor pencil is it erases pretty easily. Compared to something like a wax-based pencil or a standard Prismacolor pencil. Now that's not true once you activate it. Once you activate it, this will not do much good at all. Now if you're totally unfamiliar with water brushes, don't be embarrassed if you are, because up until, you know, about 4 or 5 months ago I was. These actually are pretty neat, and you can get some really subtle effects. I've had much more control with these than I ever thought I would. They're very simple. Basically, you're just filling this reservoir with water, and the Sakura Koi, which is going to be in this kit that I'm giving away, is a good one. I think it works really well. And this is the large. You can almost dry brush with it. If you have something nearby to blot, if you get too much moisture in it, just blot it out. If you need a lot of moisture, you can actually squeeze down a whole droplet of water and get a really wet blob. Okay. It always stays damp. But water brushes are really cool. I've bought several. I'm trying them all out. I'm going to try to see if one stands out. So far I really like this Sakura Koi, and I think you will too. Here's a good example where you might want to use a paper palette. I'm just using some very subtle olive green tints from the pencil in here. But I'm still primarily treating this as a drawing and just adding those washes where they're needed. Well, a few of the other things you can try when you're journaling and sketching with watercolor pencil. Be expressive with your line, you know, where you can. One way to be expressive is don't hold the pencil the way you do when you write. Hold it just about any other way. Some artists hold it this way if they're trying to do an expressive line. I prefer to hold it down on the end. That's one of the cool things about watercolor pencil, is that when you activate the paint, unless you really scrub it with water, some of your line stays visible. You can still see it. And even have some areas that you leave dry and don't paint in. You know, that's kind of cool. I got these little rocks trailing off down here, and I'm probably not going to completely paint those in. Just have fun with it. One word about this journal. If you get one of these, or if you happen to be the winner of this kit, this is a very thirsty paper, and it doesn't hold up real well to scrubbing. But it's a good handmade paper. It's 100% cotton and acid free, and plus, I mean, these pages just look cool, don't they? Check it out. See how when I go over some of these little areas that I made with some little expressive lines, and I'm not painting in all these little rocks, adding subtle bits of tone, but the line quality and the line expression, the line technique is still showing through. A lot of possibilities here with watercolor pencil. I'm just starting to explore them. I hope you will too. Well guys, hopefully I've demonstrated what a great watercolor sketching and journaling set this could be. And all you need to do to enter is very simple. Just go to my Facebook page. Here it is right here. I'll also have it down in the description. And then in 1 week, we'll announce the winner. There will be a post on my Facebook page. Just make a comment. You will be chosen randomly from all the comments on that post and on that post only. If you're not a winner, I hope you'll try these things. These are awesome. Doesn't have to be this watercolor journal. It can be any watercolor journal. If you've got tips even after this contest is over, please leave them in the comments. Share things that you found out about watercolor pencils. Thanks so much guys for watching. I am so proud and happy to have my supporters. Giving away a prize like this is just absolutely my pleasure. So look for more down the line, and until next time, we'll see you later.